Good evening and salutations, my J fans. Let's talk about this Trina and Spencer scene because there's one point in it where I'm just like, what just happened? Alright, let me try to describe this scene the best way I can. Spencer wants to sit there and take Trina away. He wants to sit there and have some fun, do something a little bit different, and just kind of get away from it all for a little bit. Esme and the baby and everything like that. It's like, let's just sit there and just have some us time. Trina comes out with as many excuses as she could sit there and think of just off the top of her head. And I understand that school is important, education is important, and stuff like that, but I don't think it's going to hurt her if she, comes back like maybe 1 or 2 days later. I think she'll be fine. She's a very smart girl. Um, so I think she'll be fine. But she was like, oh, I can't get away because of Portia and Curtis and school and this and that and gallery. And I'm like, weren't you the one that was like not that long ago talking to Jocelyn about how you want to sit there and get some alone time with him and just kind of do some other stuff because he's been busy with this, that, and the third. Now he's making time and you're doing nothing but making a bunch of excuses, right? But here's the thing that's so out of pocket about this whole scene. She goes from doing that to just sit there saying, yeah, we can go to the city. We can go out. Yeah, we can do all that stuff. So the hell is the point of all that before? That literally made no sense whatsoever. I'm baffled. I'm baffled. It's almost like they just had to find a way to just stretch out the episode as much as they could and there was no transition. Okay, there was no transition. There was no Spencer really sitting there trying to convince her, and she was like, "Oh, okay, all right, I can sit there and see your point. Okay, maybe I can sit there and miss a day, whatever." It was just like, "Yeah, we could do it." I mean, hell, it would have made more. It would have been more funnier, or at least it would have made more sense. She was like, I'm just just messing with you, whatever. Then I'm like, okay, fine, that's okay, cool, whatever, and it would have been fine. But it was like there was no transition. It was just like, no, 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 no. Yeah, sure, we can go. Okay, Adam. So Dex is helping Jocelyn, move back into the dorm and everything like that, and just talking and stuff. And Adam comes to the door, and Adam's like, "Hey, what's going on? Yada 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 yada." Right? He's just talking up a storm, like she's not in the middle of doing something else. So Dex come over there like, "Hey, what's good? What's up?" You know. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought that was funny. It was just like I'm pretty sure Jocelyn could have handled that by herself, but I don't know if this was like to come over there to show your alpha status or something like that. I don't know what that scene was about, but he comes over there, right? And then Adam just starts to act like a weirdo. It's like, oh, you go to school here? Like, didn't she just sit there and say that she was like, she was moving some stuff and, she's moving back in. You're asking all these dumbass questions like, oh, you're a student here? Like, why? Like, so after she's like, he's like, no, I'm just here to sit there and help him move. He's all like, oh, you have a study buddy? Like, do you have we have a study group or whatever. You don't want to sit there and be behind. You want to sit there and be in our group and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, go away. I was like, go away. Go. You see that she's busy. Come back later. Okay, she's literally down the hall from you. Whatever it is, it can wait. It's not like school is starting that day. Like it can wait. Like, chill. Come back later on. And it's like he literally didn't get the hint. So just like, well, yeah, it's kind of late. We're in a bit of a rush. So, I'll see you around. Close the door, and she's all like, Adam can be allowed. It's like, he just seems like he's annoying. That's the way, he just seems like he's annoying a little bit extra. And it's not like, my whole thing, I'm looking at this, I was like, bro, listen, I see what you're doing. I see how you're sitting there looking at her. But, she already got a man, so you might want to just. I mean, there's a bunch of other women in the campus. All right, come on, bro. Right, the lady is clearly spoken for. Keep moving. Um, Sasha is just in denial for some odd reason, and I understand that Gladys like, oh, I love you, I'm gonna take care of you, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, well, you're not stupid. You know her history. You know her history. So Cody snipped it on and she's like, no, 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 I don't believe it. And Dante and Sam come over there and Dante's like, I apologize for, having to get this far. I should have knew and stuff like that. And I'm sorry that Gladys did this to you. And now she's all like, how could she do this? How could she sit there and do this? How could she lie to me like this? Like, this is Gladys we're talking about. I don't understand how you're like, I mean, boo, you're not, I know you're still kind of getting that stuff out of your system, but I'm like, come on, bro. Seriously? Like you don't know who Gladys is. I'm pretty sure Brando told you a lot about Gladys. He might have tried to nice it up or whatever, but I mean, come on, bro. You can put two and two together. So the warden and Cyrus. Cyrus was the one that actually got the warden in that position. And he made it damn sure, he made it clear, I put you in that chair, I can easily take you out of it. Now the warden was, she was angry and stuff like that. She was all like, "Oh, you made me look like a fool," and this, that, and the third. And then the warden said something that was just like, "What?" The warden was like, "Oh, I want him off the streets and in Pentonville where he belongs." I'm like, "But okay." Well, actually, no. Never mind. But my whole thing was like, all right, so you want him and you want Sonny in jail, but you're working with somebody who's even worse than Sonny. Like you're literally working with somebody who's even worse than Sonny. But you want to sit there and oh, I want him behind bars. I'm like, really? So you talk for a little bit, and again, like I said, Cyrus makes it perfectly clear. Listen, I can put you in this chair. I will gladly take you out of it. The woman's not happy, so she's like, well, I think this is the end of this conversation. You can go back to your cell now. Meanwhile, um, Sonny and Carly's acting Drew to see if he can get some info on who's coming after him. So Drew's like, yeah, I agree to help and stuff like that. And Carly's like, I mean, my whole thing is like, yeah, at one point he was like, well, me asking the wrong questions could sit there and wind up, ending sideways and stuff. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a yes. Okay? You gotta sit there and remember, some of these people isn't there watching you to make sure that you are as safe as you can possibly be. The correct thing when he asked you, could you help, you should have just said, yes, sir, I can. But he does agree to help. Carter's like, keep your head down and be safe and stuff like that. And, well, I expect Drew to be in ICU at some point. He started chopping it up with the guard. Apparently, he knew a lot about the guard as far as his son graduating and what he got going on in college and stuff like that. He's like, oh, I can get him in a internship at Aurora. He's like, I just need some info. So he's asking the guard info as far as Austin, and of course Cyrus is like right there. So yeah, like I say, he's going to be at some point he's going to be in the ICU. My dude is going to be in the ICU. Now, I said this before in my video in my live stream. At some point, okay, at some point, Olivia is going to fall for Eddie. Okay, Olivia's talking to Nina, and Olivia's really happy about the progress. She was happy just about spending time with Eddie and learning about the music and stuff like that. And she was like, once I start to accept him as Eddie and not so much as keep pushing this neck thing, she started to have a really good time. And that's when Nina was like, so what happens if you start to fall in love with Eddie? Would you want neck back? And then she sat there, and for a hot minute she paused, and he was like, well, I'm pretty sure I got some paperwork to do in the office, so, yeah, well, good talk or whatever. because she knew that she was right, and it's already starting to happen. By the way, has anyone actually been enjoying this whole Eddie Main storyline? I mean, for me, it's okay. It's different, you know. It's different, so I don't mind it. I'm not. I know some people like super. I think to be fair, I think most people were probably more super excited because they thought they were going to get Lois back. I think that's another reason. The majority of reasons why some people was excited because they thought they were going to get Lois back. Man, they found out that wasn't going to happen. It's like, checked out. I don't really care. Um, I don't think it's been worse. I don't think it's been terrible. It's like, eh, it's okay. It's not terrible. So, and Ava goes to see Austin to put pressure on him to keep Mason in check because she has had enough. Okay, she's had enough of AKA Kojak coming in her place of business, constantly threatening her. And Ava's like, "Listen, I did everything that you wanted. Okay, it's not my fault that whatever bad info you got, that's on you. But I did my part." And she's like, "Yo, listen, I'll tell Sonny." Austin keeps saying, "Well, if you do that, it'll be bad." I'm like, "Well, you haven't actually." Here's my whole thing. He kept saying it'll be bad, but he hasn't actually said one reason why it will be bad. He's never once said that. And now it makes sense because he's working with. We know that he's working with Mason, but before then, when he kept saying, "Oh, yeah, this is not good," he'll complicate things and this, that, and the third. I'm like, "What are you talking about? Why don't you sit and explain that? Educate me." You haven't actually said what. I don't even remember the reasons why I actually said it was bad. But at this point, she convinced him to temporarily stand down. He was like, "Yo, listen, if I don't get that body soon, and if I gotta sit there and keep putting up with Mason's BS, guess what's gonna wind up happening? I'm telling you something." I saw the previews, and did Nicholas just sit there and say that he's leaving? Like he's leaving? Like what do you mean you're leaving? You're leaving to go back to Port Charles, right? And we haven't seen this dude in a hot minute, and this dude's need to talk about that he's leaving. Like, hmm. The scene between Dex and Nino wasn't really needed. It's like, wow, I mean, I get it. They gotta sit there and pad these episodes, but I mean, Dex should have sat there and just texted Nina that. To be honest, it was like, what do you need to sit there and go there in person for? You know, you could have already just been with Jocelyn, doing what you needed to do. What was the point of going down there to tell her? It's not like you don't have her phone number. I don't. Yeah, I don't get it. I feel like that's about it for the most part. I can't think of anything else that wound up happening. But as I always sit there and say, if I miss anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, B&B, Y&R, Days, and of course GH. If you are not a member, definitely join. I do exclusive videos that I don't do for just, well, pretty much everyone else. I do exclusive, live streams for just members. And we definitely get into it. We have a lot of fun. And if you're a member, make sure that you renew it because I'm gonna sit there and definitely sit there and try to do some more videos. Um, but like I said, I'm working on some different collabs and stuff like that that I may put out only for members, depending on what day that they actually have. Because my members' weekends, my members' things are on the weekends, so. But we may get into some stuff. We may sit there and spill the tea, so you don't want to sit there and miss that. But yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.